Hello.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Not too much. How about you?
Just relaxing, chilling.
Hey, sounds good. What better to do on a Wednesday night? And we want to say welcome, everybody, to the Minnesota SpiritCast. This show is sponsored by Dubby Energy. All kinds of different energy powders, and you can click the link in the description of this show to see all of those flavors and exactly what Dubby Energy is. We're also sponsored by Schneider Customs. Personally, a perfect, awesome sponsor. Ran by my brother, who designs all kinds of things like t-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, things like that. And then Crafty Rebel Creations is a more or less country store for horses and all kinds of things like that, creating little jewels and stuff for horses. And then Provoke Paranormal Partnership of Minnesota Spirit Hunters is also someone we're shouting out tonight. We want to say happy Valentine's Day to all of our couples out there, and we're coming at you live from the Minnesota SpiritCast group tonight. We have an amazing show, and to join us on this amazing show is Beth, Casey's Valentine. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome. Well, hope you guys are doing great, and hope you guys are ready for the next hour, because we have a paranormal packed show based in the state of Utah, the Beehive State. And I'm curious just to why it's called the Beehive State. And to help us with that, we have our special guest, Carrie, and I don't want to get the name.
We've lost Marcus.
We have up there.
There we go.
What just happened?
I don't remember that.
Of course.
Not a clue what just happened.
Of course.
Crazy. Anyway, Carrie, Jane, welcome to the Minnesota SpiritCast. We're the Minnesota Spirit Hunters. I am the founder and CEO of Minnesota Spirit Hunters. Right over here, that is our butthead. I mean, Casey.
Hey,
He is our tech manager for the team, and he's also the co-host of the ALL American Paranormal Tour. Right below you, Carrie, that is Beth, and she is our new case manager for the Minnesota Spirit Hunters.
Hello.
I'm realizing that you guys totally introduced yourselves.
Well, I'm Carrie. I'm one of the founders of Paranormal Pulse, and this is Janie, or Jane. Sorry, I call her Janie. And she's one of my lead investigators. So my other members are still working because we're a little bit behind in time from you guys. But thank you for having us.
Hey, not a problem. And this isn't originally the day we were supposed to have you, but we figured we'd bring you on for this very special Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
So, out of curiosity, as I mentioned before I brought you guys on, why is Utah called the Beehive State?
Janie, do you know?
No, I'll Google that for you.
I thought it, I knew once. I thought it had something to do with just. Is it actually just working, or I'm not sure because I'm not from Utah.
Me neither am I. And there it is. Why is Utah called Beehive State?
Why is it?
It has to do with the predominant religion in the state. The beehive is a symbol in their emblem. Sorry, but there was an eye roll included.
Oh, in the okay, yeah.
There you go.
Oh no!
What the heck? We keep losing people.
I can tell you what our state bird is here.
Yes, go for it.
Seagull.
Oh.
Our flower is the sago lily.
The most annoying bird ever is your
the
state
seagull
bird.
because of the Great Salt Lake. So they're everywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a joke when I first moved here, that the seagull. But no, it's it.
Wow.
Oh, there she is.
So we keep losing people.
It kicked me out.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm on something, this will happen because of Jamie. It just always happens.
You know, tonight on the ALL American Paranormal Tour, on this episode of MNSpiritCast, we're going to be digging in deep a little bit about the paranormal history and some gun smoking evidence of Utah. So first of all, I want to start every single show by asking you, how did you get started in the paranormal field, and what led you to open Paranormal Pulse?
Well, for me, I grew up always seeing and knowing things, and was just part of life in that. I've been kicked out of places for knowing things and that. And so I just thought it was normal until I realized that a lot of people didn't understand it. And then it's just as I went into adulthood, I'm like, this is who I am. I can't hide it. And just started doing, traveled everywhere and started investigating. And then when I moved to Utah, I joined another team and kind of wound up taking it over pretty much to the second person. Did not like how they were running things, and so broke off and then started Paranormal Pulse in 2009. So
Wow, you've been going for a while.
Mm-hmm. Going through some changes right now, but it's all good. Kind of redoing our website and YouTube and everything. A lot of work, but it's worth it.
That's kind of where we're at here with we're kind of here with Minnesota Spirit Hunters, where we have completely shut down. We're revamping everything. We're reevaluating things and figuring out what's going to work, what's not going to work, and what do we need to eliminate, what we need to cut in order for our team
we're doing.
To be successful. So we have only been in business since 2020. You got quite a few years on us. I feel like Minnesota Spirit Hunters is a great team. It's got a great foundation. We've done some fantastic investigations. Actually, Casey and Beth have only done a few with me. They're some of our newer members here, but throughout the years since 2009, what is the craziest thing you've experienced on Paranormal Pulse?
Oh my. Anyway, we experienced a little bit of everything. We've had locations where we had them for 12 years. We've had, we worked a lot with mayors and towns and cities and renewal boards and a lot for history. So we did a lot of work that way. We've taught at universities and that we used to just go in because I'm a people person, meet people, talk to them, explain who we are, get to know them, and then next thing you know, you're being handed keys to locations on a Friday and said return them on a Monday. And so we've had just the best opportunities and that, and met amazing people along the way who are still good friends. So
absolutely,
new doors are opening all the time. So but same thing, rebranding. You have members come and go, but you just, if it's what you want, and that it will happen.
You know, I'm just going to tell you from founder to founder here. Since I opened Minnesota Spirit Hunters, I can tell you I've been through a good 50 to 100 members. All right, and I know that sounds very bad because we've only been open for going on 4 years. However, some of them left because they didn't like the way the team was. All right, and that is fine. You have your own views and you have your own opinions.
Right.
So, you know, take it or leave it. Do what you got to do. Meanwhile, I have evaluated a lot of my members as well, and they just didn't meet the criteria of a member that I want. You know, and I don't mean that in any bad way. If any of my, you know, old members are here watching, I love love you guys to death. You guys are family. And you always will be, even after you leave the team. But the team is not for everyone. We do things
Right.
the way we do them. I like my things done in a specific way, and we do a lot of joking around, and we do a lot of playing around on our investigations too. But that's because we like to have fun, you know.
Yeah.
When the camera is rolling, when the camera's rolling, it's business, you know.
Right.
And if we happen to slip and we cut a joke or something, that's why we got editing. We can edit that stuff out, you know. Or sometimes if it's really funny or something, we'll leave it right in there, and our viewers will sometimes get a kick out of it, you know. But my point here is that the team's not for everyone, and there's plenty more fish in the sea, and everybody is replaceable, you know.
Yeah, we've had members come and go due to just getting older, or work becomes too much, or other interests pop up, or love lives and that, or moving. And I'm always like, if you've been on the team and you've made it and you have to go, you know, you're still family. You still have, we spent good times. And if you come back, you know, I always say, just let me know. You can come back in, join an investigation. Rob on our team, he can't be here tonight. He's military, and he had to, he went to North Dakota. I think it was North Dakota. He went there for a couple of years, and when he came back, we're like, come right back in. So, and you said some people just don't make the cut, and some people will do it for a bit, and then they realize either it's not like the TV shows and they're bored and that's it, or they have an experience that's just too much for them.
Yep. You know, I'm going to say this, not to cut you off, Carrie, but a lot of our members that have left the team, I have always told them it's an open door. If you want to come back, I will gladly take you back. You want to come back for one investigation? Let's go. You want to jump on a podcast? Fine by me. But, you know, I feel that people need to be in it for the right reasons, because, you know, I feel that Minnesota Spirit Hunters is all about being, you know, in the field for the right reason, because a lot of our members that have left the team have advanced and they have created their own team. And they're now running a very successful paranormal team who's getting awesome views, who's getting great feedback, and they're getting great evidence too. So I'm sure Paranormal Pulse is the same way, and you guys are able to.
Yeah, in fact, we have one member who isn't active right now, but Curry Stegan, he started a podcast called Passion for the Paranormal, and he wrote a book, and we support him all the way. And yeah, he's great, and they're family, and they can come back. You know, one of the ways that we did it is to join. You know, you filled out questions and that, and kind of looked at that, and then one of our requirements is if we brought you in, you were investigator in training. You weren't officially part of the team yet. You had to do like 5 investigations and see how it went, because at that time we used to investigate every weekend. We were just every weekend, even on a Friday and Saturday night. It was just crazy. So then after, you know, 5 investigations, or some fewer depending, then we say, okay, now you're an investigator, and that, because they just gave us some time to see, you know, who's in it for the right reason, who's in it but they're very timid and kind of scared, or who's in it and let's just we're going, you know.
Exactly.
And it's a little bit of everything and everybody. It takes different personalities and that, but and here's my philosophy. a team. You can have one member, you can have two members. As long as you're in it for the right reason and it's what you want to do, then the sky's the limit. You can do whatever.
Yes,
You don't have to have a large number.
exactly.
So
You know, we happen to be the team with, you know, quite a few members. That's because, you know, there's a role for everybody. But, you know, my team right now, like I said, is solid, and I like, you know, it's got a great foundation. We're pretty solid. But I like people to look at our team like a stepping stone. If you have bigger plans than what we're doing, use us as a stepping stone. Get your feet wet with us. Move on, do your own thing, and I'm sure it'll be great. You know,
people
but
are
the time,
going to do that, and
yes, exactly. But the time that you're with us, you got to live up to our expectations. You got to follow our rules,
No.
because in the long run, we're the ones laying down the rules, and we're paying for these locations and things like that. So obviously, we're going to lay down some rules. You know.
Oh yeah, you have to.
So,
I mean, for the
Yeah.
longest time, we never paid for any investigations.
that's nice.
Never. We still have some locations we don't have to, but you know, everybody has caught on now that they can charge something, and so
Mhm.
now locations are charging for things. And if it's going for good purpose, if it's going into, you know, fixing a historic location or whatever, then I have no issues if it's within a reasonable price.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple places here that what they charge is
Outrageous.
astronomical. I've never been there. I'll never go there. It's not a place I would even think about an investigation. So, but
Yeah, you know, some
word of
places
mouth,
are.
it's popular.
Yep. You know, some places are crazy like that. They charge a fortune. Let's take Alcatraz, for example. They charge, I think it was $37,000 for about 3 hours of investigating.
37
my
or
God, really?
3,700.
Oh Jesus.
37,000.
Well, because
Yeah.
they're making you pay for a boat ride over and security and
Yep.
No.
It is a lot of money for only 3 hours of investigating. No way.
yeah,
That is on
you
my
could,
bucket list. I'd love to investigate, but there's no way.
Right.
that
Right.
is where you go on a tour that's cheaper and you just
Yes.
if you just talk to the people who are leading the tour a lot of time and you know explain why you're there. Besides, we love history, you have to love history.
Yeah.
And that usually if I find when I talk to people and say, you know, I love the history and I'm asking questions about it, and I don't come in like, oh, what paranormal goes on here. I'm like the history, then leading into the history. Sometimes they give little cues as to,
No.
you know, something's going. Then I kind of say, oh, well, you know, I investigate, not a ghost hunter, you know, investigate, researcher, and then, you know, things start to open up, and then communication opens up, and then things can be built off of that. And places you didn't think you could get in, you can get in because now you see what you do and you become one of their helpers in achieving what they need.
Mhm.
So it's always good to, you know, when you go places, just talk to them and just, you know, just kind of find that little door and
No.
that. But usually it's to start
Oh,
off with
it's
just
audio.
history alone. Is
Absolutely.
Alcatraz, yeah, I like to go there, but not at that price.
Huh.
No.
See, I want to go there, but my wallet doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You know. So this is for Carrie and Jane. You guys could cut in at any time here. But in celebration of our 4th season of the show, we like to ask people 4 haunted places that are definitely worth investigating in the state of Utah.
Some of
This
them
is
you're
the place.
this is the place. Yes, I was going to say that. That is probably number one on the list. It's a historical park, but it has, I don't know how many, 10, 12 original buildings, houses in there. We used to investigate there all the time, and we'd even get to stay the night in the houses and that. One house in particular was crazy, just crazy. So this is the place I would say.
McCune Mansion.
McCune Mansion, if you can get in. I haven't done that. Lagoon Pioneer Village.
Do they let people in there now?
I don't know if they do now, but we used
I know
to.
you guys did.
We had an open invite for that. We used to investigate there. That again, that's a lot of the historical buildings and things being brought in.
Part of the
John
problem
Moses
with
Browning
Utah
Mansion.
is
You know who? John Moses Browning gun creator. He has a mansion here in his firearms museum, and that we investigated his house for 5 or 6 years.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the Browning Mansion, okay? Because I think you know what I'm about to say. we got some footage for you guys here.
Okay.
From the Browning Mansion, and we have other footage from other places too. But first of all, and it's really small on my screen, I can barely see. But I'm going to play some clips, and then you guys can talk to us about it. Sound okay?
Okay.
All right. So here's the first one.
Okay, that is actually a really good clip, and people might look at it like, what? And what it is on that wall, you will see a shadow walking towards the investigator. There's only one investigator in there. Mm-hmm. He is looking the opposite. So to have a shadow come the opposite direction from him is impossible. It's high above the street. It sits in an alley, so there's no lights from the outside coming in. And we've tried everything to debunk it, and we have other things happening. And this is a location. This is in Eureka, Utah. Eureka was considered a ghost town. It's a mining town. Wonderful people, wonderful town. They're trying to bring it back. We actually get to investigate the mines out there too. So, but that was the old City Hall, which is the new City Hall now. But it was the old City Hall, and on top was a little museum, courthouse, and that. So yeah, there's a shadow coming.
And I'll play that a couple more times here so our viewers could see. So here you go. I clearly saw it that time.
Yeah, I did too.
You're the other investigator walking that way. Now that place is wild, and I should have sent you a video. In there was the sheriff's office. I'll send it to you sometime. But actually, in there was another investigator and I was saying something about who I thought was describing in my mind. And when I said the name, this picture frame that's on like a table that's behind a stone, a heavy stone, gets picked up and it comes slamming down on my hand, and it slices my hand open. And we caught it all, and that probably is still one of the wildest. Yeah. Because it's like it didn't fall over; it had to literally be picked up. So
that's crazy. Well, for anybody who did not see the shadow, I'll play it one more time for you. But then afterwards, with y'all's permission, I will post all of these on our social media for everybody to see.
I want to throw one thing out though. Ghost Adventures did go to Eureka. Unfortunately, I was on that episode. And what they portrayed was greatly twisted.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say they took words and cut things out, edited, very well edited. And so if you see it and there's questions about it, I'll tell you what the honest truth behind it is, because I told them I'd only tell the truth and nothing less than that, and they still wound up going in and kind of twisting the story.
That's just key for everybody here. Everything you hear about Ghost Adventures is true. So
Yeah.
you know,
Nice people, very nice, but
yeah, I imagine.
But if you see, because it became well known, and I just want to be fair to Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
There's honesty behind what was reported, but then there were things that were completely twisted, and
Carrie got them somewhere else as well, and they really
I got
had
them
a full day
into.
with that location.
Oh yeah,
Harmed the owner kind of in a way.
I got them 2 other locations, and one afterwards they shut everything down because people were calling from all over the country wanting to get in, and it became a big, like, I started vetting for them, and we were getting phone calls from people from New York saying, oh, we're 18, 19, there's 4 of us, 5 of us, we're coming from New York, we want to get in there, and we want to spend 3 days with no sleep, no food, no water, go upstairs and confront the demon.
Wow.
Yeah, because Zach likes to drop the D word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't mention the name of the location. We still get to the privilege, but unfortunately, that's where that show can harm a location. So
that's pretty boy Beggins for you.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's very much an actor.
Yep. See, I like how you said that, because in the paranormal field, there is a paranormal investigator, and then there's an actor.
Yeah.
So in order to get that title of paranormal investigator, you need to be true and you need to be genuine with your evidence, because, if you want the views that bad, close down your team and start a YouTube channel and and fake your paranormal evidence, make people think it's real, but don't do it in the field where we're trying to be serious and help people.
Right.
And I'm not bashing the Ghost Adventures name, but a lot of people have said that
they're entertainment.
Yes, and this show is for entertainment purposes only. That's exactly what that is. So, I do want to meet the Ghost Adventures crew, but I don't think I could investigate with them at all.
They're very nice, but they're definitely entertainment. When I actually, because my reputation was like, I'm here representing these people, this wonderful town. I've been here investigating for several years, the history. So when I told them, I'm like, this is the history. I'm not going to say anything other than that. And when the episode aired, let's just say it left me in tears, because they literally cut my words out. There's one point where I'm standing there and I wouldn't agree to something that they were saying. Basically, it's, how they always say, come over here, feel that? It's cold around me. Yeah. They're like, Carrie, come here. And I'm like, it's warm. They're like, what? I'm like, we're all standing in a circle. It's warm. in the video, you'll see me standing there. I'm not talking, but they took my voice from another area and clipped it in there to make it sound like I was agreeing.
Wow.
And I wasn't. You can clearly see me standing there like, so.
What episode is this?
Oh, it's Tintic Mining District. I don't know what episode it is.
I'm going to have to go watch this because that's absolutely ridiculous.
Town is fabulous.
That makes me want to watch it again, too.
I'll cut a deal with you here, Carrie. I'll cut a deal with you here. Meet the Minnesota Spirit Hunters and you'll get a genuine investigation.
Sounds good to me.
There we go.
That's how we do it. I mean, everywhere I go, other states and people, we just, we work closely. We're working with other teams and people in different states. Where we are, we're northern Utah, so I'm an hour and a half, 40 minutes north of Salt Lake.
Okay.
We have members that are an hour and a half south of Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. Where we are, our general area of investigating is going into Wyoming, Idaho, and into Nevada.
Okay.
But I mean, where we are, we can be in Idaho or Wyoming within like an hour, 20 minutes.
That episode is in the 2018 season.
Yeah, it came out in November 2018. It's the Tintic Mining District.
Tintic Mining District, yep.
Yeah, if you watch it.
I will write that down so I can go and watch it.
I will come back and I will tell you all about the honest history and truth behind it.
Why don't we watch it live? All right. Why don't we watch it live? Let's do a breakdown of what's true and what's not. You want to do that?
One of the poor ladies that they destroyed is a friend of mine. And what they did was so wrong. It was so wrong.
Well, and they asked Carrie to ask us about things that had happened to us, and then I told one, and they changed what I said.
Oh yeah, they. Oh my gosh, yeah. No. If you want to watch it, I'll give you the breakdown on it.
Yes, you know what?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll be watching that tonight.
Let's get together after the show and let's plan another show on the side. We will come on here live, watch that episode, and we'll do a breakdown of it.
They did another location too where we used to investigate a lot, and same thing. What they had, as soon as they aired it, we went on and with a podcast and tore it apart. And said,
you should break down the one that we can't tell where it is.
I can't really disclose anything on that one.
If it's a TV show that everybody's watched, I mean.
Yeah, but that's a TV show she doesn't want people to remember.
This is completely off subject, but Casey and Beth, they're giving me a good idea here.
Okay.
I want to start a new show called Paranormal Breakdown. How does that sound?
That's cool.
I would think that would be great.
That would be awesome. We go on, we bring on paranormal guests, and we talk and we break down the episode of what you think is real, what you think isn't,
and why,
things like that, and why.
Yeah,
I thought your idea was going to be inviting Ghost Adventures to.
Oh heck no, no!
I still have to contact them, but they contacted me afterwards, asking me if I had other locations. This is before I saw the actual show, and I said, yeah, I do. And I was like, but what are you wanting? And they're like, we want someplace that's very dark. And I'm like, what? They're like, we want really dark. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
If they were to come on my show, or I was to go on their show, I'd be afraid they would go seclude me with Aaron in a dark room.
Hey, I've been to a lot of locations they've been to, and it's crazy what they say about the location. It's generally not true, or it's like...
Well, you got to remember that Zach meditates in a room where satanic rituals have been performed.
Yes. I'm
In
going to
his
say this.
basement, and he has all of the original stuff in that room. So it's like
I'd have all the original stuff too. Where
and
I
you
sit
wonder
there and be
why
like,
the D word.
demon, because it sells.
You
It
know,
sells.
I'm going to say two things here, and I know we're getting off subject here for the show, but this is a fun topic. So I'm going to say two things that the Edinburgh Manor out of Monticello, Iowa. Our team has been, our team has been to the Edinburgh Manor. I wasn't there, but I was there virtually. Our team has been there, and so has the Ghosts of Interest crew. And our team, the evidence that they got, we have an episode up on YouTube of the Edinburgh Manor. If you go and you watch our episode and you go and you watch the Ghost of Interest episode,
two separate things.
Two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell what's real and what's not. You can tell what's real by watching our show, of course.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing, is that Ghost of Interest makes it, they edit so good, and they're so good at editing, and they're so good.
They know what they're doing.
You think it's real. Yes.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, but it's pure entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's just like most of the YouTube paranormal
I'm going to say
out there. It's not.
I'm going to say before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say before I opened a team. I'm going to say before I opened a team, I used to be on YouTube, okay, and I was doing paranormal stuff, but I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and I was faking stuff to get the views, and I admit that. But eventually, it piqued my interest to come into the field and be serious.
Actually learn it.
And I promise you this, and everybody watching, everything you see on Minnesota Spirit Hunters is true and genuine. We do edit our episodes, but we don't edit out any of the footage. We listen to our EVPs 4 or 5 times before we declare it an EVP. We go through our footage. Casey goes through the footage first. He clips all the little videos and audio that we need. I'll go back and I'll look at his, and then I'll look at the original. I'll clip what I need. I'll compare the two and all that. So it's a whole long process.
Oh, yeah. And then, literally, I won't go into it, but just with that goes to how you have to set your investigation up with your equipment and all of that. You're needing the support of other equipment. We've kind of come to the conclusion that EVPs and that are directional. What we mean by that is several times there's been 3 of us or even 4 of us facing each other. So we have, let's say, 2 people with ears going east-west, the other's ears going north-south, and 2 people facing the same way will hear it, but people facing the other way won't hear it. When we started coming to that conclusion, well, then when we started putting audio out, we noticed, okay, we put one facing north, let's say, the other facing south. We're catching right next to each other, but we're catching only EVPs on the one facing north. So it's a directional thing. So then that changes the whole way that you go in and put your equipment out. And that's the thing. It's just not walk in, plop your equipment down. There's so many steps doing it, and what details that you have to have just alone for audio. It's like start time, who it is, where you're going, what direction, where are you placing, what direction is it placing, time stamping everything. And then you want a supporting audio somewhere else or a video camera. So a lot of times, because of the time stamping, we can say, I caught this voice, go to someone else's audio or one of a zillion that I have. And by that timestamp, we can say, oh, that was Jamie talking. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot of steps and technical stuff to it than just around.
we were at a location. The first location I went to was Minnesota Spirit Hunters. I had my phone recorder going, and I had a regular digital recorder going, and they were both in the same spot. And my phone picked up something my recorder didn't. So it's like, which ones,
We're going into frequencies, and cell phones cause so much havoc on an investigation too. Which for the longest time, people would never admit that a cell phone or walkie-talkies or anything would make REM pods and just everything else go off. Right. And there was one show where it came out that they were actually holding walkies to make it hit the REM pods and not hit. So, and then I think they started realizing it's that's the thing. You have to learn. You have to know what you're doing. Make mistakes along the way. Everybody does. But learning your equipment, learning the history, learning from what didn't work prior to even, okay, we've been doing this so long, we need to step back, reevaluate things as you're doing, because you can get caught up in a certain way, but so it's okay to step back, reevaluate, and, clean up some and kind of start from scratch again in a lot of ways. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in it because you want to be in it. You can't be in it because you want to be popular or famous.
Absolutely.
If that's your reason, then you're going to burn out, and you're in it for it's just not meant to be. It won't last.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'll play this shadow video one more time. We'll move on to a couple more here. So here's the shadow. Clear as day.
Yep.
Okay, and so here is a clip from the Browning Mansion.
That's the Browning Mansion I did for years. I'm very close, near and dear to the Browning Mansion. So I've seen some of the stuff lately that's been coming out of there, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Tisk tisk.
Yep. And here is another EVP.
1903.
I heard I'm tired.
Yeah,
I heard okay, I hear. The reason I don't put what is up there, because once I say it or you read it, that is automatically what you're going to hear. We talked about that instinctive elaboration, no way around it. So I'm purposely not putting up what we believe is being said, so that everybody can come out with their own opinion. Now I hear outsider.
Oh.
So, but now that you heard me say that, if you play it back, you'll probably hear outsider. So that's why I leave out what is being said, and kind of let everybody. The goal is for everybody to comment on what they think they're hearing, because there's no right, there's no wrong.
Right.
Never going to be 100% positive on what is being said. So
absolutely. Let's play that one more time.
1903.
Okay, I hear outsider.
But see, now I heard I'm tired. So that's how instinctive collaboration works. And that is something that they do on all the shows too.
Why do our brains got to be so manipulative?
I heard I'm cider.
Yeah,
I got some of both of it.
You could put 3 words up. If there are 3 words written, your brain, whatever the first word is you see, is what it's going to hear. So that's why on all the shows and that, did you hear that we caught? And I'm like, been doing this long enough, was like, yeah, that's not what I hear.
Right.
And it's okay to disagree. Us on the team, there's many clips that several investigators do not agree on. There's several clips where we'll say that sounds like Carrie, or that sounds like Jane, or so.
Yeah.
Nothing is 100%. And that's what everybody has to understand.
That's what we're in the field to do. We're in the field to debunk and try to find the answer. Are we ever going to have the full answer? Probably not. You know.
Nope.
This next EVP is from the Williams house.
Get the fuck up now.
What the heck was that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
I put that one in there because it's intriguing. Now,
Where
here's
is
my
that?
That is actually on 2nd Street in Ogden.
Okay.
That it's used to be part of Fort. That house was so active.
Is that the one that had the room with the altar and that?
We caught a female. It was so interactive. It was mind-blowing. And we actually got a name, and by the name that we got from the EVP, we were actually able to go back into the history of the area and find out that this girl actually existed. She was kidnapped. She had a baby. The baby died soon it was born. And she was put in an unmarked grave, and we did find her grave. So that's the only time we've really been able to link a spirit to a actual history.
When was that? When was that?
It was back in like 2009. The house.
Right after you guys started?
We started. There's some other video clips. That house was crazy, but once the person that lived there moved into another house, that person so desperately wanted the attention that they started faking stuff. So, but from that house, it was legit.
That's crazy.
So that clip would come through on a phone call. And this is 2009. Cell phones are, so we tried everything to try to figure it out. I'm not saying that it is a good clip. I just don't know how it was quite done. But it's interesting because there was a lot of things going on there, and there were other things that were kind of saying, and that happened a couple times. So I don't know.
It's
just
so
different.
creepy. You made my.
You see, and that's the thing. If I play that and say, "Do you hear this?" It's a demon. Ooh, boy. That's gonna light the fire under people.
Right.
If I just say we don't know what it is,
I have a location.
Person,
I had a location where I did investigation. We actually used the woman who haunts this location. Her obituary. We found out her father built the house, and we used that as ammunition, and we got good results with it.
Yeah, so, you have to know and do history. You really do.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he had to step up.
Because someone tells you from other people, oh, yeah. So there's several of the Ghost Adventure shows I could break down for you because we've been there. Browning Mansion, I can break that down in a heartbeat. I can know that place like the back of my hand. So
yeah, you could definitely tell which shows are fake and which ones aren't. Especially when you meet those people in real life and how they act around you. You can tell if they're legit or not.
Yeah, or the fact that nothing can be debunked.
Right.
or they don't want things debunked. And that's your goal, is you want to be able to debunk as much as you can.
I'm
then
highly debunked.
Yeah. Then you're going into, I can't debunk this. Okay, we need to reapproach this again and again and again. Your goal should be to debunk.
I'm highly debunker.
Yeah.
So if I don't see something, I actually got a video clip I can send you that I couldn't debunk.
Yeah, I mean, and it can take, you're never going to have the answers, and years later you can look at a piece of evidence and go back. There's a photo that we have that made it into a book that we could not, but honest to gosh, now, and the more I'm looking at it and breaking it down, I actually think it's debunked, because I think it is the investigator. Just a photo, but
yep. And I actually went. I had two cases without this team that had poltergeist activity, and by the time we were done, they didn't have none afterwards, because they just wanted attention. That was their only way of doing it, was attention seeking.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Poltergeist is an overused word. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
There's keywords in the field that people will use, and if it's on the popular at the moment, then everybody's going to be using it. Yep. And then if you simply ask them, well, what does this actually word mean? No clue.
I'm going to say this. Watch your show. I'm going to say this. The chances of running into a poltergeist or demon is slim to none most of the time. Right. There may be a evil spirit, but there's a difference between an evil spirit and a demon.
And that's a discussion we have a lot too. I don't go for the demon thing at all. I've never come across the demon. I don't think I'll ever come across the demon.
Same here.
Is there evil in the world? Yes, there is. There's evil acts and that, but evil doesn't make it a demon. And when we're bringing in people who bring in, I'm Roman Catholic, but people try to say, well, the Catholics, this, and I'm like, really? Let's go backtrack on this. They're spewing things they don't know anything about because they've heard it.
Someone is at the front doorbell.
Sorry, it's word of mouth, and it's going, oh, I'm getting reactions off of this, and then it's like, shut that off. So yeah, words can be hurtful and damaging for people who are scared, or easily scared. It can, and it's wrong. It's wrong.
Absolutely.
It could be traumatized for some people.
Yes. Absolutely. So since we're almost reaching an hour here, I love this. This is awesome. Let's jump into a little few things about Paranormal Pulse, and closer to the end, we'll play some more clips for you guys. And then we'll get a little into the Valentine's Day tradition. So what does Paranormal Pulse specialize in? And what I mean by that is, do you specialize in strictly investigations, or do you offer cleansings? Do you offer blessings? What all do you guys do?
We don't do blessings, and we don't do cleansings. In my opinion, who am I to tell a spirit that they have to leave a location where, this might be their actual place and we're the strangers? So no. And I don't like where people are going in and they're cleansing and they're leaving these people, and it causes a lot of distress and that, because things may continue. A lot of times, we've had cases where we could explain everything that's going on. Because like I said, your number one goal is to debunk.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have clients who don't want to accept what you're telling them.
Yes.
And you can't force them to, go a certain way. You can only offer what you have in that. So no, we don't do cleansings. We don't do blessings. I don't feel like I'd even be qualified to do that. Or
sure.
Mine is just we're investigating and the history and that. So, and sometimes it's just going in to reassure people, just to say, this is your home. You're in charge. You're allowed to welcome or not welcome what you want, ignore or not. And sometimes it's just explaining, again, taking out all that chatter from TV shows and that, and just letting them, understand, or, just basically debunking things. So that's what we're in for.
One way I've always looked at it is our clients are always right.
Yep.
You can't force them to believe one way or another. You can only go in, give them what your findings and that. Now, we never go in. Very seldom will you ever hear us say this place is haunted. Mm-hmm. Haunted, such a unique word, anyways. Because we don't know. We really don't know. So we'll say it's unknown, or that. We never go to our client, this is what you have. This is, you're telling them 100% what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge mistake.
Yes.
It's a huge
Most
mistake.
definitely.
Because, as we said, we don't have the answers.
Yep. And probably never will.
No, we're just kind of trying to move in that way. And my favorite thing is, once you catch on or think something, it splinters into 100 different topics off of it. Yeah. And that's exciting in that. So it's an ongoing process, and you'll never hear us say this is what it is. I know what it is, because I don't.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Perfect. So Carrie and Jane, what makes Utah a good place for a tourist who wants to look at paranormal activity?
Utah, is a wonderful state. There are some local attractions that are of the haunted house variety, like showmanship haunted house, that have taken that and pushed it beyond to where it's been on shows and that. So people, when they hear of Utah, I won't even mention the one place that I don't want to give them any knowledge. That's what they think of, and it's not. Utah is it's a Mormon. It is a deep Mormon state, but there's a lot of great locations around, and a lot of them are just the ones you would never expect, the ones off the beaten path that you find as you're meeting people. A lot of times people will say Ogden's 25th Street is probably one of the most active. And again, that's because that's been mentioned so many times, and that, yes, it is active, but there's all these other amazing places around. The small
25th Street is almost inaccessible anyway.
Yeah.
That's like a sticker, a thorn here.
Mm-hmm.
It's very active, but the powers that be do not want that known. And so the places, it's a lot of bars, and then you have like the snooty little candy and sandwich and boutique places that are sitting on that are the bottom part of a double-decker building that's incredibly old and gorgeous.
Mhm.
But they are not open to any discussion, and they will not allow you to investigate.
You do face that. You do face that. One way is I found to work around that is to say, okay, I understand that, but let's talk about history. Can I tell you some of the history about this? Or I've seen you've said this, well, here, and then you let them know that you're here for more than just a thrill. You're here to help them as well as to gain knowledge, as well as to investigate. So it's how you word it, how you work it, and it's patience with some places, but once it opens, and if you have a good reputation, the word of mouth will spread.
Yep.
And sometimes it's just going places with your family or whatever and meeting people and striking that conversation and making that connection. I'm a big people person, and that is how a lot of locations and that have come to, is just from just talking.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of great places out here that people will walk by and not think twice, but they're wonderful. They're wonderful. I love those places, the off beaten path places. I love
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. So let's do a few more clips here, and then we will start wrapping up the show little by little.
Real
here.
quick, Marcus, if you ever want to do a breakdown of the Browning Mansion, I'll do that with you. I've probably have 4 or 5
I would
years
love to be part of that.
Yeah.
of investigating there, and I probably have several hundred clips from there, as well as the history. And
Yes,
what I'm seeing is driving me nuts. So I love to talk about it. Great place. Great place.
yeah. I think the idea for the show would be cool if we watched video of the location, break down what those investigators are doing, and then actually investigate the place ourselves to get the actual answers of what's going on there.
I would
Break
agree
it
to
down
that.
and then we do it. That would be kind of cool.
Well, if you got any questions, let me know, because there's a lot of places we've investigated, a lot of places I've myself investigated, some that Janie's done, and that.
Well, that's why I would like to do the show with you.
Sounds
I
good to
think
me.
we'll go to do the show together. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we should talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Sounds good.
All right. So I have a few more clips for you guys here, and then we'll talk a little bit about how everybody's Valentine's Day is going and all that. And then we'll start wrapping up with where we can find your evidence and stuff. So here is a clip, and I can't see where it's from, but you could just tell us about it when
Some
we're
of them
done.
I can't put the location because of
Sure.
confidentiality, or it's just
I totally get that.
traffic. So
Totally get it.
I can
This
describe
one looks like you guys were doing the Ouija board at a table.
No, this is the Williams house. This is the
Oh,
Williams
sure.
house.
Okay.
And when you see this, I can honestly say that I can't explain this one, because neither one of us were moving. What we had was paper on the table, and then we laid our hands backwards on the table, because if you're going to move, you're going to move the paper.
Yeah.
But this table was constantly slamming into me.
Wow.
And we had cameras on the floor, everything. No one was moving this table. This place, you walk out of the room, come back in, and all the cabinets would be open. It was
Really?
wild. It was really wild. So this is just some of the clips of the table. And, I can honestly say no one was moving it. But if someone wants to think that, that's okay. But I know what it was. So.
I hate to be the, excuse my language, I hate to be the jackass here and bring this up, but what you're explaining kind of sounds like poltergeist activity.
Well, yeah, but okay, so poltergeist, people think poltergeist and they think, okay, we're going down a bad road again. It's really, it's not. It's nothing more than a noisy ghost. Okay,
Yes.
so what's a noisy ghost? Why are doors slamming? Why are cabinets opening? Maybe someone just wants your attention, or it's don't take everything and turn it into a negative thing. Or the automatic, scary, evil thing. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Doors are slamming doesn't mean someone's mad. Might be, hey, I'm here.
Yep.
So poltergeist is fine, but reevaluate what it means and that, and so it gets used, I think, in the wrong way.
Yeah, and
that's a word that can sell. It's a word that can sell.
I hate to bring up that statement considering we just talked about it, but it's almost it's almost what it sounded like.
And then what you're doing is what I appreciate. I'm an open book. I want people to talk to me. I want people to question. I want people, because by doing that, I'm able to tell them what we've experienced, what we learned, and I'm giving something to you. But it's also, okay, you're looking at it from a different angle. Maybe there's something you're going to suggest to me that I haven't thought of, or, we've done it hasn't worked, but maybe there's another way of doing it, reapproaching.
Exactly.
So honesty and talking, and that you don't have to believe what everybody's putting out there. It's okay to question it.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say, I need to see that or experience that, or tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
That is the healthy thing. Be respectful when you're doing it, but that's the healthy thing, because you can help each other, and doing that you can advance. You can find, I didn't think about that, let's go back, check it,
Right.
So that questioning is always very well welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Well, so go ahead and for our viewers, go ahead and take a look at this clip. Let us know what you think.
Whoa.
Oh, there was a Ouija board on the table. I forgot that was there. That's a whole other topic, Ouija boards, for me. So
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's watch that one more time.
And I'm laughing because this is pounding me up against a cabinet. There was nowhere else for me to go.
I'm going to just bring this up. You can obviously tell that neither of you did that because, for one, your hands are upside down, and you're not as strong with the outside of your hand as you are with the inside. There's no physical way you can push or pull.
And the client has her leg crossed, and we had cameras down on the legs.
Yep.
Of course, I'm not doing, and I'm watching her, and I can't explain it. Ouija board.
Well, especially with that amount of force that table moved.
Yeah, it was slamming, and it kept coming. There was hours of this where it would slam into me. I can't go any further, and then you see the table push back even further to where several people are trying to pull it out, just so I could, breathe. Of course, I'm laughing because I'm like, this is great. But the Ouija board on the table, I'll say one thing. That's a whole nother night of conversation. I always say a Ouija board is no different than an audio recorder. You're asking a question, and you're asking whether to be recorded or to do. So I have a Ouija board. I'm not the Ouija board is the you're opening things you shouldn't talk to for me. But that's my comfort zone.
Yes.
No different than asking a verbal question with a recorder.
Absolutely. Here is another video from the same location.
You can see I'm backed up against. My back is up against that, so I'm trying to scoop back.
Oh my gosh!
Oh goodness!
Pushing in, pushing in.
You can clearly see she's not pushing the table. You can clearly see that she's not doing
Her
that.
hands were free
Right.
on that table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, we
And
were
there's no way
lost.
you could have pulled it because
No.
it went sideways instead of straight back.
That
Yeah.
table actually would turn. In other investigators, we'd sit and you'd watch it turn on us, and it's like, okay, that's the only time I've ever seen a table like that move. I've never experienced that at any other locations, just that one.
Yeah. Well, here's another clip from the same location.
Holy moly.
That's insane. I have never seen anything like that.
No,
I've
me
got
neither.
a lot of. I got some great EVPs from there too.
Okay, so here is totally different location, but here is a EVP from the Rogue Saloon or the Rogue Salon.
Salon.
Can you move something?
That was me.
See,
And that one's intriguing
Mhm.
because what did you guys hear, if anything? And if you didn't, that's fine. Headphones
I
are
heard
always
something.
I heard a female's voice.
Towards the end.
Towards the end, yeah.
Well,
So
I'll try to play it one more time because I didn't really hear anything.
I didn't either. It sounds like the
around
same
the
lady
8
to
second.
me.
Headphones are always the best, but around the 8 second, clear as day.
Okay, let's see.
Can you move something?
That was me.
See,
Was it like a laughing type thing?
You hear Curry laugh.
Yeah.
Yep,
He gets
and
a
then
little
you hear,
giggle. Then you hear a
and then you hear
And
voice
then there's
right after.
an Irish, to me, it's an Irish accent. And she goes, I see
Yep.
you laughing.
Yep, I heard that.
Oh, I did hear that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
heard
is
that one.
the EVP clip.
Wow.
That one.
That's how
Yeah,
clear
because
that
after I put my ear closer and I could hear it.
Yeah, that's the EVP clip. And a lot of
Okay.
people don't realize because it is so clear that it sounds like an investigator.
Mark
Hello,
says,
Mark. I don't know who Mark is, but
Mark, he's from Enlightened Souls Paranormal. We actually got the pleasure of meeting him in person. So, I
great.
did. That was pretty cool. He said it actually says you.
You okay? It could. But my thing is always headphones.
Yep.
Okay, I said what I hear and what others hear. That's why I don't put it up there. But it's free for everybody to hear what. No one's completely right. We can't
Right.
because we don't know. But I hear with the accent. I see you laughing.
Yeah.
That's
I always,
pretty cool.
to me, when I get video clips, I always put the timestamp.
Yeah, and I have the
Mhm.
timestamp on that. I just cut it out for a short
Yeah.
clip.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing when you're doing your clips technical. I can go down a whole road on this too. Leave time in front and time behind.
Yep.
People clip them so short.
Yep.
So you have a couple seconds in front, a couple seconds behind to hear everything. But that place, there's some. I've got one of a little boy that is the best from there. I'll send it to you.
Perfect. And I'll put all these up on social media. So we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. Carrie, Jane, what's next for Paranormal Pulse?
Well, like I said, we're revamping, making a new YouTube page, making a new website. We've got plans in the working with other people and opportunities, and just blossoming more. I mean, it's not the same as it used to be. It used to be investigate every weekend. Now it's, once a month or twice a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But working with some great people, opportunities opening, and making friends. You know, like tonight. It's
Absolutely.
talking with people who have something in common with you, and being able to have those discussions and support each
Absolutely.
other. And so that's, you know, we're in
Awesome.
it. I'm in it because it's in my blood. I love it. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
Absolutely. There you go. And where can our viewers find you? I do have some links below, but where can we find you?
Well, right now, just on Paranormal Pulse Facebook, and we also have Paranormal Pulse Private. We have an old YouTube out there, but I am making a new one, updating it, putting new things in it, as well as creating a new web page. The old one got out of date, and we need to update it and do it. So everything's working. It's a lot of work. It will get done. So that's where we're at. We're just revamping, step back, reevaluating, and just coming at it again with different.
There you go. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
do.
Perfect. So let's go ahead, and I want everybody here. What is your Valentine's Day tradition? What do you do on Valentine's Day with your loved ones?
I'll start. Valentine's Day to me is the same as any other day. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Money maker.
A lot of people.
Tell my husband and that I love him every day, and he can do the same to me. So Valentine's to me is basically every day. It's not for me. It's not cards, but I got my youngest son and his wife are in town, so I'm
there. You go.
And then my grandchildren. So
hey, you know what? You can still kill your husband on Valentine's.
Give him hugs. Yes.
The other day, right?
Yeah, every day. Tell him you love him. Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Please don't cancel me, Facebook, for saying that.
Marcus.
One of the biggest money making days. It really is. I'm like, don't waste money on chocolates and flowers. Just go tell that person you love them, or
absolutely
just send them a nice message or something. Just
well, and it's funny because at my job, a bouquet of roses are $20.
Jeez.
My son has a bouquet of a dozen red roses coming Friday because they're going down to the anniversary in Salt Lake City. And I'm like, good Lord, you know what I could do with the money?
Yep.
Right.
Okay, here's what my husband does. He says, I'm the only man probably married to a woman who doesn't want flower cards and jewelry. He buys me equipment. He just gets me equipment.
Yeah, there you go.
He surprises me with equipment.
Whatever works. Whatever works.
Yes.
Hey,
yep.
Where's my ghost equipment?
You know, that's another thing, equipment. I could go down a road on that. What? You don't have to have everything. There's only basic things you need to do.
That is true. That is true. I started out with my phone, and I was using my phone for equipment, and I was using a video camera. That's all I started with.
Yeah, flashlight, audio, really the basics there. Then if you want to add a video camera, all this other stuff, none of it's made for paranormal. It's electrician tools, or someone saying this contacts the parent. They're experimental things. You can try them, you know, but it's not necessary to have all these gadgets. It really is.
Absolutely. Casey, what is Valentine's Day to you, man?
Just spend time with her, you know.
There you go.
Oh, let her blush.
I can't help it.
Oh, Valentine's being.
You say me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm single, so I don't have any traditions.
Fair enough. And not everybody, you know, likes to or has to celebrate it, you know.
Well, I would love to have, you know, a husband who and celebrate Valentine's Day, but it just ain't in the cards, I don't think. So
love
I
you,
eat
girl.
chocolate by myself.
Hey,
Friends and family is what matters too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Janie's like my sister, so
There you
she
go.
knows I'm there for her, and I know she's
There you
there
go.
for me too.
You know,
so.
Valentine's Day is it's not specifically for your significant other. It's anybody you love, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad,
Yep.
daughter,
Grandchildren.
son, anybody. So you're not alone, I promise you that.
It's exciting for the kids.
Yes.
Yes.
It is a big deal. Like I've
Because you
got
get
all kinds of stuff for my
candy and-
grandchildren.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Make it special for them. Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
And what about you, Beth?
Well, this will be my first Valentine's Day with that one over next to that's next to
Now-
you.
Hey,
Hey. Well, I've known him over 20 some years, so
Wow.
yep. He used to live across the street from my parents.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Meant to be.
Oh my God, you
Yep.
guys are cute. Get a room.
My husband and I went to high school together, and I thought he was the biggest dork, and he was dating my best friend. So
Oh wow.
Ooh.
ooh,
You done spelled that girl's man.
no, he had nothing in common. He was still my best friend and was in the wedding and everything. So
Very cool.
Awesome. Hmm I think Valentine's Day to me is it's special to spend with my daughter and my fiance. Simple as that. So-
otherwise, what I say is just take the time to say something nice to somebody, especially
Yep.
somebody who could use that. A stranger, anybody, just something nice.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, just walk up to a hobo and say I love you. You know,
Or hold the door open for somebody.
It'll probably make their day. To be honest.
Ooh.
Martha.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. And my final question for you is: what is one piece of advice that you would give a newcomer in the field?
Come in with a blank mind. Don't come in with a preset idea of what it's going to be. Don't pay attention to the TV shows. Don't pay attention to the YouTube. Don't go down just keywords like we said, demons, all that stuff. Come in asking questions. Know your comfort limit. So I've always said, if there's something I ask you to do or I take you somewhere you don't want to be and it's not for you, speak up. You don't have to go there. Don't
Exactly.
force it on anybody. Just bring them in, let them ask you questions, explain things to them, let them question what you explain, and just try to grow from that. And just, be honest. It's really very simple.
Yeah.
It's not like TV. So
No.
people
Right. Exactly.
I think what you need to do is ask them too, what is the paranormal to you and why do you want to be involved in the paranormal? And you'll get two different sets of questions that you
Oh,
can say,
absolutely.
yeah, maybe this isn't right for you and this. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Let's take that
I learned
through.
I learned a quote from somebody, and I think I know you know who it is, but when in doubt, time to get out. I don't know if you know who that person is, but that's what I go by.
Not for everybody. It really isn't. And people have an expiration limit. It gets where like, okay, I've had too much of this. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So just respect questions.
Exactly.
And the thing is anybody who's afraid of questions, there's an issue. There's an issue. So questions are always good.
Questions are always good. Yes, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we want to personally thank Paranormal Pulse for being our guest on the show tonight. This is the longest running show we've had in a little bit. Because
Sorry, I'm a talker.
we're not even done yet. There's a lot more to talk about, and I do want to
There is a lot. Yes, there's a lot. I personally want to thank you guys, especially we were, like you said, we were scheduled to be on in January. We had power failure here, and you guys, Marcus, I said you could go with someone else, and you didn't. You stuck with us. So I greatly appreciate that. And Janie rushing home to jump on. Thank you. Others would, but like I said, they're behind and they don't get off work yet until 6 or so.
I have a question for you. How would your team like to come investigate with our team sometime?
I would
I would love that. And vice versa. Open
No.
invitation, come here.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I got to visit Salt Lake City sometime. So
yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot to see when people talk Utah. Salt Lake City comes up, but there's a lot of great towns that are not Salt Lake City that are better. So there's a lot out there.
Well, I think we need to make a trip down to Utah, huh?
You definitely.
If you guys come this way, I'll plan something for you.
I might just throw Utah into our next season. So never know.
Sounds good.
Well, I haven't even started our new season, so I might throw it into this season. This season starts in April, so anything's possible.
Jeez. Yeah, so. I mean, we've got probably 600 investigations.
Woo! That's
plus
that's a lot.
Wyoming, Idaho, and into Nevada. So.
Wow! All right, guys. Well, we want to.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, we want to thank you very much from all of us at Minnesota Spirit Hunters. Obviously, we have more members, but they couldn't be here tonight. But from all of us, we want to thank you for being a part of our show tonight and sharing all this awesome footage and stories and all kinds of things with us. So thank you. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you too.
Good show, Marcus.
And he's gone. Yes, you too. So thank you everybody for coming out and watching the Minnesota SpiritCast. Presented by the Minnesota Spirit Hunters. Don't forget to check out our sponsors of Dubby Energy, Schneider Customs, Provoke Paranormal, and Crafty Rebel Creations. All kinds of interesting stuff within those 4 companies. So go and check them out. We want to wish everybody a very happy Valentine's Day and hope you're having a good one with your loved ones, your significant others, your children, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, whoever it may be. So we want to thank you very much, and we'll hope to see you next week. We won't have a show on Saturday, but we'll have a show the following Saturday. So we hope you guys have a good time from now until then, and we'll see you next time. As always, happy hunting.
Happy hunting.